And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon and welcome to the market recap. Still Monday, December the 19th. Just watching the weather, it looks like we may get a foot to a foot and a half of snow on Thursday and Friday. It looks like it's going to be a white Christmas around here. I'm not very excited about that, but another thing I don't get to choose, right? My name's John. Thanks for trusting me with your time. As always, we're looking forward to your success here, and hopefully you did have a good trading day today. We had some weak lows in the equity profiles that may have helped foreshadow this, but some of this is probably due to the NAHB, National Association of Housing Builders index that did come out today, dropped about to 31, the sixth straight loss in 6 months. The silver lining of it is that it was the smallest drop in those 6 months. Lots of blame going to high inflation, high building costs, high mortgage rates. It's just going to cost more to get a house, to buy a house, to build a house. We have more information coming out tomorrow, 7:30. The housing starts and permits numbers due out. We had the S&P down about 33 points today, 1.6%. NASDAQ down about 150, 1.3%. And the Dow down 152. And the futures are down only 0.4%, maybe between 0.4 and 0.5%. So the Dow held up better than any of them today. Crude oil was up 90 cents. 75.19 is the settlement price, up approximately 1.2%. Got a nice move up to the weekly kickoff high in crude oil today and a nice pullback right off of it. We're going to see that in the charts very shortly. As always, if you like what you see on the recap, forecast, whatever it is, make sure you hit the lucky like button, share a comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Very important, so you can get notifications when we do go live. Limited events on YouTube and everywhere else this week. No group coachings, no make Hogue money, just doing the forecast and the recap for you this week. And then we'll all be off next week. Going to take a little bit of time off and get ready for the coming year in trading and in Top Step. So we're looking forward to it. Make sure that, again, you hit that lucky like button. Rooster, it's good to see you. Saltbones, hey, what up? How are you? It's good to see you. Let's get some time and chat a little bit one of these days soon. What do you think? George, Lacey is under the Christmas tree. She honestly, I'm gonna put a bow on her because she thinks she is our gift, and to some degrees, she is. Good afternoon, Bill Phillips. Hagel Matters. Good to see you. Spencer, today was frustrating. I tried to force a few trades and sized up out of impatience when they didn't move right away. Better readjust my attitude towards the market this week. And, you got to kind of have the attitude that you've got to take what the market is telling you and see if you can't take advantage of it. Right? Alex, good afternoon. Nice bearish day. Hope all have made money, but if you didn't, there's always tomorrow. Salt Bones, I got you. Frozen Gumwad. Is coaching provided for people who are not trying to pass the combine? Of course. The group coaching is available for anybody that wants to come join. Again, we won't be doing that until January, but if you keep coming to the forecast recap, I always put the link in so that anybody that's watching can join group coaching. Of course, we do have one-on-one coaching that I think is pretty much available to anybody as well. I think there's a waiting list to get onto that, but try and get onto that as well. Anthony, good afternoon. And so, yeah, I mean, that's our goal here at Top Step. Our goal is your success. So we certainly want to give you the opportunity as much as we can to be able to work with somebody, work with us. I'm going to write down a little note here. All right. So, again, tomorrow, really the only economic number due out is that housing starts and permits. It has a red dot next to it, which means that whoever put this calendar together believes it's going to be a more impactful number. So we look forward to that tomorrow before the equities open. When we do have free one-on-one coaching, if you get it, I get on the website, Spencer. You can sign up, and we can see if after the first year we can make some sort of other arrangement. Spencer, we'll work on that. Going to be taking some time off though. I think we all deserve a little time off. We work really hard at this. It's important to take a little bit of time off once in a while. I haven't, other than a unfortunate incident this fall, it was July since I've taken any real time off. So I think I deserve it. I think we all deserve it. Remember to be good to yourself. We do work hard at this. It's one of those jobs where you can work really hard and not make money at it. I've spent a lot of time doing that, and it's one of those things that when it's great, it's really great, and when it's tough, it's really tough. Well, Frozen Gumwad, the one-on-one coaching is free now. There's a whole group of coaches here at Top Step. Just a matter of getting on the list. We're working on adding more coaches so that we can handle the demand. But yeah, these are free sessions. Thanks, Hagel Matters. And yeah, definitely not trading next week. It's going to be pretty thin. A lot of folks will be taking next week off. So why don't we jump into the charts here real quick. We'll take a look here, starting with the daily and crude. Pretty decent move towards weekly kickoff high and a pretty decent pullback off of it as well. Let's take a look. So here's the daily and crude. Still largely downside momentum here in longer time frame and in medium time frame. Weekly kickoff high 76.65, 76.64. The regular trading hour session today. Here's the 30-minute. The market opened. It initially left the opening range at the low of the session, I believe. And then it took out the low of the opening range. Where did it go right? Where did it go to? Basically settlement. Do you think maybe we had some overnight inventory that was long here that took us back to where we started the overnight, which was right here? Makes sense, right? Well, once the overnight inventory was done, then we see the market turn back higher, take out the high of the opening range, take out the high of the initial balance, trade right to our weekly kickoff high here of 76.65. Missed it by one tick. I gotta see if I can't. This was a naked point of control here. I gotta put that just right above there. So took out this naked point of control, touched barely our weekly kickoff high, and then turned around. I mean, that's a pretty substantial move. I mean, if you bought it near the low of this move down here. I mean, you got 120 points. That's a pretty decent trade. And once in a while, those weekly kickoff levels do provide that kind of opportunity. I got to be paying attention, though I missed that one today. Here's the E-mini S&Ps. So we got the market moving back to the downside, or a continuation of the downside. Don't forget, our measured move from our head and shoulders here takes us all the way down here. 3760 approximately. Trying to see if 3760 is where I wrote down today. We're probably going to see about 500,000 in open interest dissolve tonight as they cash settle after Friday's expiration. Don't let that scare you. All that means is we're going to be able to lean a lot more on open interest and volume for the next 2.5 months in the equities. Hooray for the end of rollover. So the market continues to push lower. Tests, well, 8, 9, 10, 11 ticks through weekly kickoff low before finally finding some buyers and turning back the other direction. Remember, we were looking at this on the TPO charts. We were like, this morning we discussed, boy, we sure have a lot of excess on the highs on the way down here, and a low excess on the lows. Poor low on Friday. When this market started looking lower, number one, it left the opening range at the high of the session. It would have been maybe a little tough to take that one because it was a pretty substantial opening range. It would have been a lot of risk. But then the market gave us 2 more opportunities in B period and in C period. The market came back into the opening range, allowing us to limit risk and then getting us the opportunity to get short and maybe even remain short. Look at what we did today. We have a weak low or a poor low. There's no excess. There's no indication that the auction process ended today with the lack of excess on this 30-minute chart. On the daily, looks like a little bit of excess. But on the 30-minute chart, very low excess there. All right. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ never This is not the NASDAQ. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, this is the daily. So we got relatively close to weekly kickoff low. 31. 31, so within 20 points, 21 points of weekly kickoff low. Stop short of it. That can be useful information, but remember our measured move for our head and shoulders takes us down to 10,800. Here's the 30-minute chart. Opening range remains the high of the session, the entire session. Usually that's going to tell me I'm going to be looking for shorts, and it would have been the right thing to do in the S&Ps and the NASDAQ and the Dow today, for sure. But the market never gave us that opportunity to try and get a cheap short up against the high of the initial balance here like it did in the S&Ps. Well, we have the NASDAQ actually down a smaller percentage than the S&Ps today. It just never came back and gave us that opportunity. Would have been a tough trade to take. Last week's low maybe, but boy, it sure hung around there for quite a while. Here's the TPO chart. Okay, more excess on the highs. Whoa, 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 Nelly. Excess at the highs. Excess. Low excess. More excess at the high than the low. Starting to create a couple of little anomalies here in the NASDAQ. I'm starting to wonder about the confidence to the downside here. We're going to see what happens on the front month, the March month open interest tomorrow. Don't look at the total. Look at the March tomorrow. If we added a whole bunch of open interest, it's going to tell me that the downside auction is more likely a little bit healthier than I think it might be. Gold. So, centrally located this morning, still centrally located today. Very, I would say, a difficult trade today in gold. Look how low the volume is. Very low volume. We had a spike in the dollar at one point today. I don't have that chart up anymore, or do I? You know, we had a nice spike in the dollar just before about 10:30, and it just kind of snapped right back. Take a look at what gold did. Nice spike in the dollar. The dollar came back, but gold did not. Basically almost the same range, same value as yesterday. Very little change in the perception of value of gold. And remember, we are centrally located inside last week's range and weekly kickoff levels. This is short time frame control, ladies and gentlemen. Short time frame control at its finest. Where did we put in the high today? Just above yesterday's, Friday's high. Where did we put in the low today? Just above Friday's low. Short time frame control tends to create short time frame levels that are respected. The problem can be there's too many of them. Here's the euro. So we did get another close below this trend line, falling largely into a range bound for about the last 4 days. Expiration was today. Potential market state break. Step 1, acceptance below this trend line. Step 2, acceptance below weekly kickoff low. All depends on that almighty dollar, ladies and gentlemen. The almighty dollar. Here's the TPO chart for today. Very low excess high. Matter of fact, that is a weak high. Excess at the low. And then the market came all the way back up and put in the high. Interesting. And a weak high at that. Well, where is it? Where did we put in our low? Is this the low of the area of balance we've been in? We could say, look at all these highs. Look at all these lows. Little movement here in the 10-year. Let's see what we have as far as the rate. Traded up to almost 3.6%. So maybe about a 10 basis point move here in the 10-year today has pressure on price. We kind of depressed when we opened and just kind of finished checking this point of control. Be interested to see if we did any damage to open interest, or by damage I mean increases. And for our island top here, price came up, gapped higher. Now it gapped lower. It's hard to see because this shadow on this candle spiked lower before the regular trading hour open on Friday. Check it out. So here's our gap up. Here's a spike candle rejection, but it was before regular trading hours. So I'm still viewing this as an island top, at least for now. And look what the market did. The market opened and kind of pushed lower through weekly kickoff low already, tested 2 naked points of control. There's still another couple of naked points of control down below here for this market to target. I'm starting to look for swing lows as to an eventual support level for natural gas. We'll have to see. Dr. VJ, it's good to see you. Yeah, we held the low of the SPX, held at 3,800. Once the ES closes below 3,800, I expect we may go to 3,755. All right, Dr. VJ. What happened on this day in history? Well, today's the day that President Clinton was impeached. I'm sure we all remember. It wasn't that long ago, was it? 1990, Bo Jackson became the first athlete named to the NFL and the MLB All-Star Games. 1843, Charles Dickens' classic A Christmas Carol is published. One of my favorite versions of that is Bill Murray's Scrooged. 1917, the National Hockey League opens its first season with the original six. In 1972, the lunar landing mission ends on this day. And a very, very cold Continental Army enters winter camp at Valley Forge in 1777. 1997, Titanic sails into theaters. It's hard to believe that movie is as old as my daughter. The heck? 1775, Thomas Paine publishes The American Crisis. Not too much all that interesting here in music. In 1918, Professor Longhair was born. Alvin Lee was born in 1944. The guitars and vocals for 10 years after. Played at Woodstock. In 1964, the Beatles' fourth album, Beatles for Sale, started a 7-week run at number 1 on the UK album chart. In 1970, Elton John's first U.S. hit, Your Song, entered the Billboard Hot 100, where it reached number 8 eventually. There was one other thing I was looking on here, but I don't think I'm going to find it. I'd love to change the world. That's right. Yep, that was like one of the best parts of the movie Woodstock was watching Alvin Lee play that and what was it? I'm going home. I'm going home. My baby. 3755 is also the next key level you have for the ES. Alex. Good eye. We'll see if we get the opportunity to get there. Well, I never turned me back on. Well, that's probably a good thing. All right. Are we still talking stocks? Yeah, just we like to kind of lighten the afternoon up at the end of the recap. We've looked at all the charts. Sorry about that. I kind of left the charts up there, and we just kind of think about what happened in history and music, and just kind of lighten up, take a deep breath, and relax. The day is over, and so, well, I'll see you again tomorrow morning for the forecast. Could you show your TPO settings on the ES sometimes? Andrew Bowden. Oh, I know, Anthony. Just let's see what we got here. Okay, so here's the TPO settings for the ES. Let's go here. Configure chart elements. Click. So I've got all the letters different colors so that I can see in the profile through time. Okay, Anthony, thank you. 8:30 is the Central Time open, so I've got it opening at 8:30, and I close it at 3 o'clock, which is 1500 military time. One TPO per price in the S&Ps. Sometimes it does get a little bit long. And then I've got the second session, which starts at 5 p.m. Central, 1700 military time, and then it stops at 8:30, so that I've got basically from the overnight open seamless to the open for the regular trading hours. But I do stop it at 3 o'clock Central because that's when the New York Stock Exchange basically closes. You're going to see volume die off. Sometimes there may be good information after that, but I like to kind of keep my profile at the close there. As far as everything else, I think it's pretty much standard. You got your points of control and value areas. You got to try and make them as visible as possible, which is not that easy on TS Trader. But volume profile, the points of control, value areas are very easy to see. And I don't show fills or trade lines on any of this. This is a random sim account anyway, just so I don't start making mistakes and start taking trades while we're on here. I don't want to make those mistakes. So there's the info. Take a screenshot if you need. Okay, awesome. All right, glad to help. And because again, no coaching this week and no make hog money. Kind of a quiet week, but I'll look forward to seeing everybody again tomorrow morning. Same bad time, same bad channel, 7:45 a.m. for the market forecast. And we're doing the forecast through Friday or through Thursday, doing the recap through Wednesday, taking Friday off. Sounds like I'll be doing a fair amount of shoveling. Not too into that idea. If you do get a whole bunch of snow and you're kind of inactive like me, just be careful that you don't overexert yourself and hurt yourself. It happens every year. I know I'm going to be just kind of taking my time. I'll hopefully get a little bit of help from my son, and we'll get her taken care of. But I don't want all that snow. I don't want it. Of course, it might be kind of good in a glass with some bourbon on it. My Kentucky snow cone. That sounds kind of good. Anthony, I'd love to come to South Florida, right? All right. All right, guys. I'll see you in the morning. Be good to yourself. Be kind to others. Say a prayer for peace. And see you in the morning. Good night.